Hey everybody, this is Nikki Dance Angel, Liddell Beeman, and Clint with Clint Speaks, and we're back in the building. Liddell, Nikki, how y'all doing today?
What's going
Feeling
on?
brilliant, brilliant,
Oh man,
brilliant. I am.
awesome.
How you doing?
We're doing good here. We're doing good. But from what I understand, all news haven't been good news. I mean, we're doing okay, but it's been some stuff going on, Nikki. What's going on in Memphis, in our hometown?
Man, Memphis is getting crazy, y'all. It's like a battle between a pit bull and a Rottweiler. I don't
That's
know which
true.
is worse. So, everybody's been talking about these mass shootings, y'all. Memphis has had three mass shootings within the past 10 days. 20 people have been shot in Memphis. So apparently people are just riding up and just shooting into the crowds. There was a situation where people were at live, and that's more so of a newer kind of like lounge type of deal.
Yeah.
One person was killed. I think they said that 10 were shot there alone.
Mm.
So it's horrible, man. Things have gotten completely out of control. First we've always been hearing about shootings in Memphis, of course. We've been hearing about homicides, but now to just do mass shootings, to just start to shoot in crowds, to me, that's a new one. I don't know about y'all, but that's on a whole new level. I mean, it makes you not even want to step foot in Memphis, which is so sad. So yeah, y'all, that's what we talked about. We mourning. I just want to send my most sincere condolences to the family and loved ones who, have lost loved ones to those mass shootings, who have people who are trying to recover. I'm praying for you and praying for a speedy recovery. And y'all, all these people who going around shooting, they belong to somebody. They
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody's sons, they somebody's
yeah,
uncles, aunts, with nephews, whoever. They belong to somebody. And
yeah.
for nobody to report anything, you are just as accountable as the
Yes,
person
indeed.
who is doing the shooting. If you're not turning these people in, you are doing them an injustice by not saying anything, because they're going around constantly. And what goes around comes around. Karma is real. And what's the killing part about it? Just because it don't hit them, it can hit you.
Yeah,
It can hit you. It can hit your children. Karma don't play fair. So these people belong to somebody. Somebody knows something. And for y'all to just harbor people who are just going around murdering people, to me, that's insane, y'all. Come on, wake up. Wake up. We got to do what's right out here.
Man, that's
I
true,
totally,
man.
I totally agree, Nikki. You know what? And the strange thing for me is, here's a dynamic because of course, when you look into these murders and different things, the shootings and what's been happening, it's been African Americans again.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that gets me is that after the Tyree Nichols thing, after having Al Sharpton come to Memphis, after having all Spike Lee, all these different people coming to Memphis for black on black crime,
Mm-hmm.
and really trying to deal with the issues that's going on inside of the black community. Here we go again, and it's almost as if it's not enough to reach national television status for what police officers or law enforcement, black law enforcement, did to Tyree Nichols. But
Mm-hmm.
after that, you think about how young Dolph was gunned down. It's happening all across the board, and
Mm-hmm.
people are crying and putting up RIPs and doing all these different things. But at the end of the day, we're still not holding our African American community responsible for
Mm-hmm.
what is going on in our communities. I have
Mm-hmm.
a problem with it. I have a serious problem with it because I was talking to a group of students today, and we were talking about the carjackings and stuff that's happening. And I was like, well, what if that was you guys' mom car? And they were like, we'll shoot them, we'll do this. And these were small kids that I was talking to. But then I asked the question. I said, well, what if it was your friend that did it? And they were like, well, I just tell them we can't be friends no more. But the whole energy changed because we're giving people a pass because they're close and they're kin to us. And just like you said, you know who did this. You're
Mm-hmm.
known committing these crimes. These are your kids, your nephews, your uncles. These are people that live right in the house with you or somewhere in your close vicinity or friends with you, and nobody knows anything. But
Mm-hmm.
because we're giving them a pass and we know we're harvesting a murder.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
got
know
a
what,
problem.
man? I didn't mean to cut you off, Liddell. It's crazy, man, that I'm not one that's big on unfriending people. on Facebook, because a part of me is like, okay, we may not see eye to eye or whatever, or they may have just terrible energy. But a part of me is like, with please, I know Liddell Nick is not going to take this the wrong way, but for anybody that sees this, do not take this the wrong way. But a part of me is like, well, they need to see what's going on in my life. They need to see,
Bible, you ain't gotta apologize for that. I lay
Right.
out a table before your enemies. That don't apologize for
Exactly. Now, there was one particular person. This was a couple of years back. This particular person was just always attacking the black church. And I'm not thin skinned. So hey, say what you want, do what you want. That's you. Um, but around the time that who was the guy? Floyd, George Floyd.
that. Mm-hmm.
When he got murdered by the police, it was like everybody was mourning, everybody was sad, man. And here's the thing with the black community: when one of our own gets killed by the police, and he's a white police, for example, we are in uproar, we're in a rage. Black Lives Matter comes out in bands. We band together. It's like we jail together. With
Mm-hmm.
all due respect, it's like us and the Latino community, we're pretty much the same when it comes to how we're being treated by other races and cultures that don't like us. And we're one. It's like we're one. And I promise you, Nikki and Liddell, as soon as they had that dude's funeral, it was probably that Monday, because I think they had that on a Friday or Saturday. And it was probably like a couple of days later, this person's post was, okay, in so many words, now that that's over with, can
Mm-hmm.
we get back to talking about the black church? And I'm like, I unfriended. It's like and I'm not quick to do that, but I'm like, this little joker, boy. It's like
Yeah.
we're so quick to just be at each other's throat. Now you're talking about 20 people that got killed. Now here's the thing: people gonna say, Nikki and Liddell, y'all, why y'all acting like this brand new? This Memphis, y'all know this. We don't have mass shootings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't
Yeah.
have black men getting killed by the police like that,
No.
especially black police. So people act like we're acting as if we're brand new. No. We have murders. We do. We
Mm-hmm.
have carjackings. We have things of that nature, but we don't have mass shootings where 10,
That's
11
true.
people getting killed at one time. And I was just saying last week to y'all, I'm a Christian. I've been saved since 15. Now, have I always act saved? No, I'll be the first one to admit that. But since 15 years old, y'all,
Yeah.
and I I'm still not perfect. I still don't have everything in order. I still have my struggles in some areas. Um, but as a Christian,
Yeah.
and one that is, I would say I am not. How can I say this, Nick and Dale? I'm not a lamb. I feel as
Mm-hmm.
though I'm a sheep because I know enough to bring other people into the fold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I'm not a novice at this Christian lifestyle, at this faith life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a religion, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I said all that to say this. I don't see nothing wrong with the club. I don't see nothing wrong with that concept. I ain't saying the environment, I'm saying the club. You should, if you look at what it was originally for. Now I know this was a bar and grill, but I'm just using the club as an example. If you look at the club, you should be able to go somewhere with your wife, your
Yes.
girlfriend, your boys, your girls. Y'all should be able to go to a place, have
Mm-hmm.
some nice food, your drinks, and dance.
Yep.
Have a good time to socialize, go back home. You
Yep.
should be able to do that. That's
Mm-hmm.
the concept. That's the standard of a club. But you can't go because of mentalities like this.
Mm-hmm.
You've got families, Liddell and Nikki, that woke up at some point a couple of days ago enjoying a nice day, and now they're not here.
Right.
You
Yep.
have families that woke up with their loved ones, and now they have to go back home without their loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
whether
Mm.
that's their
Mm.
son, their daughter, whether that was their husband, because you do have women that's like, wives is like, hey, go spend time with your friends, look
Yeah.
just like that, man. we work from home, and it's like, Clint, go kick it, man. Y'all been working. You've been working, and you've been up in my face. Hey, it's okay. Go kick it with your friends. And some people ain't coming back home.
Right. Yep.
Like I like De'Ara, my wife has gone and spent time with her friends. People that she's known, and I just thank God she came back. But this is a bar
Yeah.
and grill. But I understand, Nick, and people didn't come home, man. It's
Mhm. You go out
uh,
just to have fun and don't return. I know I found myself yesterday. My daughter, my 17-year-old, she said, "Mama, the enemy keep attacking me. Every time you leave the house, I get scared that something's gonna happen to you when you out there." And
mm,
that's crazy for her to have to go through
mm,
that. For
yeah.
her to have to be afraid for me to walk out the door. And so I catch myself praying, Lord, bring us back, safely to our families. Return us back to each other safely. And it's crazy. And it's great that we can pray that prayer.
Hmm.
But the fact that we literally have to pray that prayer every single day just
Wow.
to, survive the day is crazy. And it makes me personally not want to do things in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes you
Right.
not want to, because I'm a person, I used to club. And I
Hmm.
tell anybody that's my testimony, one of them. But I used to be a clubber. And I've been in clubs where they pepper sprayed. I've been on Beale Street and somebody started shooting. And I remember walking up the hill, kind of like Beale Street kind of has a slight slant going up. But I remember seeing everybody else coming back towards me, running. So I just took off running with the crowd. I mean, in the middle of the crowd, I remember an Asian girl fell. I remember having to jump over her. Everybody else was literally trampling over her or tripping over her and falling. I remember jumping over an Asian girl. I lost my flip-flops. The only reason why I got out of there because I had a classmate from high school who I hadn't seen in years named Corey. He was standing on the sidewalk on the side of a building. He literally ran out into the street, snatched me to the side. Now, out of all the people on Beale Street, thank God it was one person set in place. He snatched me and he said, "Nigga, what's wrong with you? Yo, don't run with the crowd. Run to the side. Get over, get out the way." And I didn't even think about it, but out of all the people running, and I mean, it was people, for one person to just be in that place and to see me out that whole group. I mean, he snatched me. I just
Wow.
felt myself being flown from out the street. And so like I've been through that, but to actually be sitting at a bar and grill with your friends, with your family, just chilling, and all of a sudden you see somebody stand up shooting at the crowd. How do you take that? I don't know how to take
Exactly.
that.
It,
I've been in a place where I've seen somebody come in with a gun. I was at it was a tropical smoothie. Dang, I'm gonna think about the name of the place. It serves kind of healthy food. Me and my husband were sitting there. And so there's the front door and there's the walkway that goes straight ahead to the counter. And on the right side, you have like booths, and on the left side, you have booths. So we were sitting on the right side. It was broad daylight. Two guys came in there with the gun out, walking straight to the cashier. People have fight or flight instincts. My instincts are retarded. I'm very, very reserved and conservative, but it's like I run to the situation. I don't understand. I remember everybody was ducking and dodging. In my mind, we're not gonna just sit here and get shot up. My crazy tail stood up in the middle of the aisle by the door and fussed at my husband because he didn't get up. I was like, "Come on, why you just sitting here?" Even the shooter looking like, "What she doing?" Like, if you get your butt over here. So I'm trying to run out. And so I initially was upset with him. I'm like, "You just gonna sit there?" He's like, "They had guns. You stood right in the path of them.
mm,
He could have gotten scared. He could have turned around. He could have shot you." And I literally stood right there where he was, screaming, "Come on, let's get out." And everybody else ducking, looking at me like, "What the heck?" Even the shooter thought I was crazy.
yeah, man. I don't know if that was a good thing or bad thing because
I
you
don't,
confused
I don't
him.
know.
Maybe
I don't know
like,
why
hold
I
up,
responded like that. I don't know
lady.
why I responded like that. He was
Oh
confused.
wow.
He had to rethink his whole life. I bet he remembered my face because I literally stood up and I was just screaming. I was like, "Come on! You just standing there." So
Wow.
anyway, but to be in a place and people just start shooting at a crowd, like I don't know how I would feel. I don't know how to respond or react. And my husband's like, "Oh, you need to go get your gun license. You need to, carry." But I honestly feel like if I'm sitting in my car on the side of the road and my car is broken down, and three men start running up to my car, and I have a gun and I have the license to shoot, I'm naturally gonna feel like you're trying to hurt me. I'm not gonna look at these three big old black dudes or whoever. I don't care if you black, white, whoever, you running towards my car. My natural instinct with all the stuff that's going on today is not
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh, these are three men who's trying to help little old me. And so in the sense, like I don't even want to walk around with a pistol because I'm scared I'm gonna shoot at the wrong time.
I'm gonna say this. Well, first, we now for those that don't know, you're seeing us visually, but we're gonna pause for a short commercial break because we're actually recording audio too. So we'll be right back with you, and I'm gonna get back to Liddell. And we're back. Liddell, I need to hear from you, man. What do you think about that, man?
Something I was thinking about, and I brought this up a while ago, but I remember some years ago. It's been a couple of decades ago. There was an Ebony magazine that came out, and it was called "Black America: The Culture of Disrespect."
Mm.
And when you think about it, we have released into the atmosphere, the ethos, as a culture, disrespect, from our music to everything, and to a point that people are really afraid. Like when you think about it, I have opened doors for. I got this big habit, and it was just me trained as a kid to open doors for women.
Mhm.
Nowadays, you open the door for women, and it's like they won't say thank you, and they'll look at you like
Oh
it's
my
you be
God.
like, what did I do? And as a man, I feel some kind of way. I'm like, what just happened? And that
Mhm.
woman, I don't know what's happening. She's going through all types of emotions. She don't know if the dude trying to talk to her. It's all of this stuff happening at one point, at some point in time. And I keep looking at the culture. It's like it's a reverse effect. The things that we should be great. I mean, it used to be if you would look at a black person or another like black men. I always look at another black male and I smile that what's up, bro? Man, now the black guys go around looking at each other, mean mugging, and just like for what? I mean, it's like it's almost it's a reverse effect to what we should be doing to each other as a culture because we
Mhm.
have created a culture of disrespect. Now,
Mm.
and you think about it, that's the reason why people can't enjoy themselves because now you get disrespectful video games, disrespectful music. I had a friend of mine, and I had to retire from DJing for a very very long time. I come out every now and then and will do a gig, but I had to retire because the thing about it is, a guy, and this was back in the Tear the Club up days. I wasn't DJing then, but whenever they would play that song by 3 6 Mafia, Tear the Club up, literally they would tear the club up. So they had to start banned. They banned that song, Tear the Club up. They banned that song. I bet you won't hear. I mean, it is like all of this stuff because we have released into the ethos for so long a culture of disrespect. And that's
Mhm.
the reason why we're constantly faced with this and we're constantly dealing with it to where people can't even enjoy themselves anymore because somebody feels stereotypical. And we feel it too. If we're honest about it, as black people, we get nervous when a lot of us start congregating. We like, oh,
Mhm.
you like
Yeah.
some finna jump. You feel it
Yep.
like something getting ready. Somebody is on the ignorant juice, and you know
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
about to pop off. And so that's what I have a problem with. I was walking down the street, and I'm gonna shut up after this. I was walking down the street, and it was these two guys, and they were bullying me the whole time when I was coming up as a kid, and I didn't know that they were a part of this guy's. And I will say the name. I don't have no shame with saying the name. Craig Petters, which is one of
Mhm.
the most notorious. I mean, gangsters in Memphis, crime bosses, doing all types of stuff. But these two guys were with Craig Pettis. I had no idea, and so I would get into it with them all the time. But this one particular dude, I'm walking my cousins, just something as simple as walking my little cousins to the park, to Pine Hill Community Center. The dude walks, he's over there cutting somebody's grass. He's supposed to be making money now, brother Clint and sister Nick, but making money cutting grass. He sees me, walks down the hill, stops cutting grass, walks down the hill, has some lemonade in his hand, comes over there, and I got my two cousins, and I'm thinking, okay, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm knowing that this dude started mess every time we're around each other. But this particular day, the good person is on the inside of me was thinking, okay, well, maybe all the beef or drama, whatever was wrong with him is over with. So I'm like, hey, and he's like, what y'all doing? I'm like, we're going to the park. He said, oh, that's cool, that's cool. And then takes the lemonade, throws it in my face, and springs on me in front of my cousin. So I'm like, bro, and so I'm my little cousins are right there. So I'm like, this ain't finna fly like this. So I ran across the street up the ladies' hill, and it's like him and his brother were up there, and I'm like going at it, jacking. I'm pop, 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 whooping. And so one of the brothers, I was in such a rage to the guy. One of the brothers, he threw a chain, a dog chain. He threw it out at me. He still had in his hand. I grabbed the chain, wrapped it, pulled it to him, and I bit a plug at his neck. I'm talking about I'm in rage mode. I'm like, ah. And then so the woman whose yard they were cutting comes out of the house like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all gotta go. And the guy's like, they came up, and the guy was lying. He lied and said he came up here and started all this. I was in such a rage until the point I went home, told my aunties, and because these people stayed on the next street, and we were like, and she like, let's go over there. And so now we over at this house, all because this guy right here had no intentions or no value of respecting me as another black man who's doing something as peaceful as walking to the park. And years later, I asked them, I said, we grown men. I said, why? I said, why did y'all do this? And he was like, well, man, you bit a plug out of my neck for nothing. I said, I did that because I was defending myself against you and your brother. I said, I did nothing to you. But you guys put me in a defense to a point where I had to rage out. And so when you think about that, we're in defense mode as African Americans now, all because we don't know what somebody getting ready to do to us, and it should not be that way. I'm not even
Man.
that type of person, but I shouldn't have to rage out, or as a female, I shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable if a man opens a door for me. We got a problem.
Exactly, man. I'm a piggyback off what Nikki said, and then what you said. Um, as far as like the gun license, having a permit to carry. Um, I my brother had surprised me one day. He was like, "Bro, I'm gonna pay for our class." I'm not like, "Okay, cool." And so we went and took the class on a Saturday. It was 8 hour course, and I'll never forget him saying, he said, "Y'all, for y'all." I don't know what he said before. It may have been something to the effect of, or somebody asking a question about people with their gun license shooting people. And he
Mhm.
said, I've been on the police force. Basically, he was one of the ones that you see when you're on the E-way, you riding down the highway, he's sitting in the grass in the SUVs. He's one of those. And he was like, I've been doing this for over 20 or 30 years. But he said, man, only I think he said 5% of the people who have their gun license commit crimes. At the time, now mind you, this was probably six,
Wow.
7 years ago. He said this the other 95%, and this is the word he used, the other 95% of the fools that
Mm.
don't have their license, they're the ones committing the crimes. But he said, but the ones who get their gun license, for some reason, they think like, no, we ain't just gonna be shooting. He said, because even in the gun class, they telling you, hey, know your target before you aim. They're
Mhm.
telling you things like that. So
Hmm.
I feel you, Nikki. I'm not going to tell you what to do, except you know what to do. Just pray
Oh,
about it
I'm
and
gonna
get
get it.
get an
I'm gonna get
answer.
it. God already
Because
told me. He already
hey,
told me.
I'm
And
gonna
one
tell
of the
you why.
mothers of the church told me a long time. She said, "Baby, God said get your gun license."
Mm,
I said, "Wow, okay."
I'm gonna tell you why I say that. And it just put some thoughts into people's heads when I said it. I said, you know what, y'all, because it was some Christians, some other Christians, they was, well, the angels and God has been protecting me for all these years. Why you gonna stop now? And I'm saying, listen. With all due respect, I respect it. I'm not even gonna add to that. But they kept the conversation going. So okay, well, let's talk then. So I had to ask them, when you're eating your food, I said, does God put the spoon or fork to your mouth? Like, nah. And I'm like, when you're drinking water or liquids, does God put the liquid in your throat? No, we do it. And I say it's just strange to me that when you go out in society, that you feel like you don't have to protect yourself.
Mhm.
It's just kind of crazy to me. And they was like, we never thought of it like that. And I said, I'm not saying that God won't, the angels won't, but you do know that some things are our responsibility too.
Mhm.
God does not put my pants on. And I listen to Ricky Smiley church announcements, Bernice Jenkins. I just, man, it's just funny to me. Lord, the Lord slid me right in my church shoes. And it's funny, but honestly, God does not do that. I'm not saying He won't protect you, but some things we do have to use common sense about. I
It's true.
I have mine on me. I
Mhm.
actually have it. Now I have the. My wife called it a waist trainer. I guess I done gained a little weight, but it's you strap it around your waist and you can't see it. Christmas
Mhm.
Day, man, I was at my parents' house and I'm asking my sons and my brother, "Can y'all see? Does it look like I got my pistol on me?" They was like, "No," they were looking because I usually have it somewhere else.
Mhm.
And I raised my shirt up and showed them. They was like, "Oh man." But either way, I'm glad you're gonna get it, Nikki, because I told De'Ara to do the same thing. But
Mhm.
Liddell, just Saturday, man. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this real quick because I know we don't have much time, but I play ball. Man, I'm not what I used to be. I'll admit that, man. Some of these young cats blow right by me, dog. I'm fouling. I use all my fouls, and you playing street ball. We in the church now. You playing? Ain't no referees. I use all mine. But anyway, so and I hope the young man don't see this and get offended. But we going back and forth on the court, hooping, scoring. Now we done got up probably like a 3 or 4 point lead, and it's one of them things whereas they don't count threes as threes; they count them as twos, and the twos as ones. So we're up like
Mhm.
3 or 4 points on them, but they coming back, and I'm calling out the score every play, and I'm loud. I'm calling out the score. Long story short, one of the plays they come down and score, and I'm just asking like, "Hey y'all, the score is such and such. So what y'all got?" And the dude said 12, but really it was 11.
Mhm.
So they scored a couple of more times, and now mind you, I'm calling the score out. The game going on, and in the middle of us having the possession, he was like, "Wait a minute, we got 15. 15 is game." And I'm like, "No, y'all really got 14. It's 14 up." And that just it went from there. Me and that dude got to hollering at each other. I'm talking about he, and I'm right back, like, what I'm saying? Like, and I walked off. I went and got some water. He ain't calling me out my name, but he's saying you basically you cheating, man. Y'all partner cheating, man. Y'all partner cheating. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not cheating you. And I was on my way back from the water fountain because you had to walk on the other side of the gym. And I'm coming back and I'm saying to myself, I don't know what this young cat go do, but man, we still got to fight it out because I'm that just that moment, and I'm just being transparent. I ain't going, man. You just sometimes it's like the humble people, man. You get tired of being humble sometimes.
Get
I'm just gonna be
tired.
real.
Yes.
Yeah, like, but we was two men, even though I'm older than he is, we was two men on the wrong energy. And
Hmm.
I'm glad nothing popped off. And man, we shook hands and we hugged afterwards and we was laughing. And I'm just saying that quick, something could have popped off. And I said, can you imagine? And we was probably about six of us sitting around. I said, can you imagine if we got to shooting at each other? Because I had my pistol on me. And I said, man, at the bottom of the ticker, the score was supposed to be 12. And it was, it's like they started laughing. I'm like, yeah, that would have been dumb, man. But that's how
Mhm.
quick,
Yeah.
just like the dude ran up and hit you, Liddell. It's
Yeah.
just crazy how one part of the day, everything is good, it's positive, it's all love. And out of the blue, somebody comes in with a gun, somebody hits you, somebody is threatening you. It's like, it's crazy. And it's like, go back to what you said, Adele. When are we gonna learn, man? Like, have your words were before we even got on here, have we learned anything from with all due respect to his family, the Tyree Nichols situation? Have we learned anything, Nikki? Like,
Mm-mm. Nope. I want to piggyback on what Adele said real quick, just from a woman's perspective. Adele, I can answer that question for you. It's so funny because yesterday, y'all know, I don't really post on social media like emotional, like personal feelings.
Mhm.
And yesterday it came to my mind to say, "Sir, ma'am, when somebody's walking and they open a door and hold the door for you, it's okay to say thank you. And I said, I'm not gonna say it, but I thought that yesterday because I've held the door for people, and I don't care if it's a woman, man, I hold the door for you. And they just walk right on in. I had a group of white women just walk straight on in. And my thing is, what used to be a privilege is now seeming to be an obligation. I don't have to hold the door for you. And
Yes.
so me, I'm very, very sarcastic. I held the door. She walked on in. I said, "You're welcome." And
Thank
she
you.
just kept walking. She didn't say anything.
Thank you.
A lot of times with men, when a man holds the door for me, automatically as I walk by, it's a you know what I'm saying? Or you look back and he look and turn his head to the side. So now I'm uncomfortable a lot of times when guys open the door
Wow.
for me because I know the motive. Like a lot of times men don't just open the door just to be,
Mm,
gentlemen. They open the door because they want to look at your butt, look at you walk off. And I feel
mm.
very uncomfortable when that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
So, I can feel your demeanor from the beginning. If you just open up the door and you're like, here you go. I'm like, thank you. And I just keep on walking. But like one guy, this was like 2 weeks ago at the gas station. Sean was there pumping gas. He was at the pump behind me, and I was at the pump in front of him. So he was already pumping his gas. I was in there getting something. So when I came out, he held the door. He was like, mm. So I'm walking. He said, I love the way you walk. Didn't say nothing. I just kept straight. So I come to my car. This man went from, he was at the front of the store. There's a garbage can at the front of the store in front of his car. This Negro grabs garbage and walks all the way over to where my pump was to throw the garbage away. And Sean saw him and got out the car and just started cleaning my window. And dude just did this and took a whole
Wow.
spin around. And I just said, oh my God. Because he plays so cool. Like Sean ain't gonna say nothing. But he was just like,
Mm,
and so the guy
mm.
just turned. But all that just because you open the door.
That's
Wow.
And it makes women feel so uncomfortable. Some, I'm not gonna say it right, because some women they paid thousands of dollars to get some back there so that you can
Mm,
watch. But
mm.
yeah.
me personally, I don't want you, gawking me as I'm walking through the store. So that's why a lot of women do feel like that. As far as the gun license and all that, I am gonna do it. God has told me to do it, so I am. People don't know, on this podcast, y'all know, but I DoorDash. And my mama asked me the other day, she said, Nikki, do you have a weapon when you DoorDash? Here I go sounding like your folks clean. The Lord protect me. She said, I understand that, but don't be no fool.
Man.
And it's so crazy because I'm a girly girl, but I'm a tomboy too. I love going to the gun show. I love gadgets.
Mm.
I just love seeing stuff. I don't know why I've always been like this. I used to have all kind of stuff. I used to have the brass knuckles with the knife that stuck out the side. I ain't never did
Whoa.
no. I did. It was.
Okay, Nikki.
I didn't do anything to anybody. I just liked it anyway. But I've always had a taser. My last taser was super strong, and it looked like a cell phone. It had the numbers, the keypad, and it said talk. On the other side, it said stun. So you wouldn't think it was a stun gun. One of
Wow.
my church members' not husband, boyfriend or something, he was stalking her, and she was really afraid. And I gave her my stun gun. I used to
Mm.
have pepper spray. Don't know where. Oh, it broke. It broke off a keychain, so I threw that away. So anyway, my mom was like, "Well, at least go and get you a stun gun, get something while you out there because it is dangerous. I'm going
Mm.
knocking on
Yeah.
people's doors and going to people's houses. Somebody can do anything. So when I go, I try to make sure I look as rough as possible because I don't want no type of attention
Huh.
at all. Which is why it took me kind of a long time to get on here because when I tell you. I had this look on my face. I have my mask on everywhere I go. I don't want you to see me. I have on
Mhm.
sweatpants, because you just never know. I had to deliver something to somebody at a hotel. They time I bring it to it was a motel. Bring it to my door. No, you can come outside and get it. You can come downstairs. I ain't coming to a motel.
Man, I'm
So
telling you.
anyway, I say all that with just everything that's going on. And
Yeah.
with certain things that we do, sometimes like my situation with people door dashing, with people doing Uber, Lyft, and all that, you might be putting a murderer right in your car, and
Yeah.
you don't even know.
It
So
has
it's
happened.
so much
Um,
that's going on, man. It's so we have to be so alert. So I am gonna get my gun license. I'm just praying to God that I never panic
Yeah.
and mess around and shoot somebody at the
but
wrong time. But
you know what? I just want to say this, and I bow out gracefully.
No,
But
you
you know
good.
what? It's to me, it's like the world is flipped to a point that we're all walking around in defense mode now.
Mhm.
It's like from even from what you just said, Nikki. Now it's like because it'll make you hesitate as a man getting ready to open the door for a woman because you're gonna be thinking she's gonna think I'm trying to talk to her, and you feel that awkwardness as a man. I'm just saying, for a man, you open the door and the woman don't say thank you or nothing. You just feel that awkwardness, like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
oh, what did I just do? Like it makes you,
yeah.
Mhm.
even if you're not a pervert or something, it makes you feel like, man. And
Yeah. It make you want to lift the back of their hair up and just hit them with a fly swatter around the back of their neck, just where it make
Let
that
me tell you
popping sounds
something.
like
Pick up the back of my
just
hair if you want to. Pick up the back of my hair. And when the whole hair come off in your hand, you be standing there looking crazy and wondering what happened.
just hey man, just thought of you ain't gonna say thank you campaign. Just have a logo with the back of the hair up.
Right.
Just, hey
I do
y'all,
say
this is
thank you. I
look,
do
y'all. I'm
say thank
telling you, this is what we do, y'all. Hey,
yeah,
we like Nikki said, we seriously pray for those people, man, who've been affected by the recent shooting. So,
you. Most definitely.
hey, this
yeah.
is Nikki Dance Angel Adele Beeman and Clint with Clint Speaks, and we're out, y'all.